Hey guys, Dark Emperor here. You guys might know me as Zombie Wookie and Dungeon Defender. So, today I decided to do a short video. It all started on the forum. So, as you guys know, Dungeon Defender 2 forum is sometimes really good and helpful. Other times there's a bit of controversy with answers that, let's just say that people have a lot of clash of opinions, right? So, it all started with that thread from Lotus. So Prime 5 Spectral Assault. So he started with, if anybody was able to beat this map without using any auras, then you're simply amazing. To which I replied, you can just use nodes, traps, and use anti-air support. It's not especially hard, but it's not efficient, that's for sure. Now, the first thing I thought when I saw that challenge is that the thing about Spectral Assault is in the map where there's only 3 lanes that merge, and it's possible to merge both the ground lanes and air lanes. Because of that, and because of the fact that Prime 5 works with the C7 lanes, I mean that there are EMP cobbles that spawn both on the ground lanes and in the air lanes. So because of that, auras are definitely really good, because it's amazing for merging lanes, and it's amazing to merge to hit both ground and air lanes at once and take care of the EMP cobbles. But auras are not the only answer. Right there, a straight up answer, a way to clear that super easily, that challenge, use Weapon Man. Weapon Man works pretty much the same way as a Flame Aura. So if you just replace Flame Auras in the build with Weapon Man, you get pretty much the same thing as using an aura. Of course, you wouldn't be able to use the Boost Aura, that is technically an aura, but that's really the worst of it. Everything else, pretty standard build. So right there was like, okay, it's not that hard. You can use Weapon Man if you want. If you want to use Reflect, it's possible to place it on the top of where the flyer lanes come and kill him with that, and Reflect also is good enough to kill the EMP and ground lanes. So right there, just with EV nodes, an easy way to beat that map. But then I was like, yeah, maybe that's too easy. So pretty much there's a few comments about how it was kind of hard and stuff. So Lotus saying that you watched Juice stream, that his auras were killing everything. So pretty much the issue right here, he talked about people will just cut and paste, zero creativity, always use the same build everywhere, so pretty much always spam auras. Of course it's the most efficient way, so personally I don't see a problem with that. But anyway, he says there's a problem with zero creativity, and that's where the challenge of no aura started from, at least from my understanding. It's definitely hard, and yep. So pretty much Switchblade saying he completed it, so it's not that bad. Yep, same here. Player giving an answer. So he's saying something about tenacity and shed. Only 2 incursion left. Oh yeah, that one. Google doesn't differentiate 2 leaderboards. It doesn't differentiate between skill builders and those who use the current meta or shocking rev water servo combo. So when I saw that, I was like, is he trying to take a jab at me, or indirectly, because I'm a fervent user of shocking revelation with water, which is often called the legacy Weapon Man, right? And for those watching this video and wondering, like, is Legacy the Weapon Man the only way to go about things? No, it's not. You can easily use 2 protons, or use something like 1M Power Rebuild from Juice Bag. All good and valid ways to build that are as good as Legacy Weapon Man. But here's the thing about the Legacy Weapon Man: it's not as good for ground lanes. It's slightly better for air lanes. So it kind of balances out. But most importantly, why I chose to stay with that, it's so much easier to just place 1 defense than to keep switching between characters to place 2 protons, or, you know. And I kinda got used to using Legacy Weapon Man. But anyway, And then you reply to me, then do it, Wookie. If you can use nodes, traps, or anti-air. Go use nodes and traps with anti-air support. You talk about being AFK. That wasn't, I think, in another post. I said something about it's possible to be that map AFK. Like, you just, if you place auras everywhere, stuff is gonna die pretty easily. Except like the first tree wave, if you just spawn kill enemies, it's not that bad. You don't even have to do anything. And then the last two, you just need to kill a few, well, cleanse a few specters, and everything's fine. It doesn't matter if your core takes a bit of damage. It's all about making sure it doesn't die at the end of the wave when you kill all the enemies. That's all you need. Use cut and paste builds. So I was like, wait, are you seriously, like, what's wrong with a cut and paste build? Like, that's a build the build I'm using, it's the build I designed, it's a build that works. I mean, I don't see the problem with that. But anyway, he said, go beat this Prime 5 with nodes, trap, and anti-air, recorded, post it. On the Xbox, PS4, and Steam leaderboards, I know who the talented, diverse, creative builders are. So yeah. So I replied, yeah, I mean, copy paste, what's wrong with that? Like, I made a build and it's working. And so what if it's working on every lane? It's still good. And then you replied, I don't care, once a build for every map kills the game's beauty. Which technically here isn't really true, because on that map, auras are better, while my usual build involves reflect beam. But I won't really question that, it doesn't matter. Everybody is using that build. So if we're talking in this map, it's the most efficient way is just to use flame auras. So yeah, of course people are gonna use auras. There's no creativity, the game has become robotic. It's like Marcos spamming bees to 999. You found a way to, yeah. Okay, so here's where you start addressing me. Two things I have a problem with. One, go beat Prime 5 with traps, nodes, anti-air. Do that because you implied that you could in a public forum, and I don't believe you can. So yeah. So first of all, easy way to beat that, just use Weapon Man, Reflect. Pretty strong defenses that both can hit air and ground. So merging is going to be super easy, right off the bat. Of course I'm not going to do that because that would be too easy. So afterward, secondly, and this is where your name grabbed my attention, under a returning player category, an individual asked about the Dryad. I backed the Dryad up and said, and you said you had calculations and implored people to DM you. I replied with a post that could not be refuted. You cannot possibly have calculations for every mod shards combo as well as placement of every random tower. So I won't even bother linking the post, but pretty much a player asked if Dryad was good, and then I replied, no, actually Lotus replied first, saying that Dryad with good mods and everything and properly set up is godlike. So I was like, I don't know, man, like I don't want a new player getting in the trap of Dryad if he's already struggling with the game. As we pretty much all know, at least that's what I assume is common knowledge, Dryad is pretty bad overall as a builder. Like, she can work on lower difficulties, but higher, not that well. And I personally tried Dryad with best in slot gear. I mean, like 10 out of 10 mods, C8 5 out of 5, all the shards that are necessarily for building. At the time I didn't really use all the DPS stuff, but I had all the things to build. And if we just look at the strict building, I went from AFK at floor 600 to struggling really hard and not even being able to complete one map. It was that bad. So that's, from that time I pretty much stopped using Dryad to climb, because I mean I never really used Dryad to climb ever, even when she was OP as fuck. But yeah, so it's a reference to a post where I was saying, I don't know, man, like from my experience, from my calculation, like she's not good. Like, just her potential right now, add to that the kind of broken AI, it's not really good, you know? And I was especially contesting she's godlike. I don't know. But anyway, on that one I did ask him to send me like Matt saying, like proving his DPS with Dryad and stuff like that, and he was like, nah, you cannot like calculate everything. I guess he's right on a part of that, but it doesn't change the fact that Dryad's pretty bad. But anyway, I do admit that it's kind of nice to try to struggle to somehow make it work, make character that's really trash work. But if we're talking objectively, then she's pretty much trash. She does have some potential with DPS though, especially with her permanent stun and stuff like that. But anyway, so yeah, on that one, actually surprised if you came up with one set build that beats every lane and rule set that DD2 has, then that in itself pretty much amazing. But do not pretend to know about the Dryad's capabilities. But yeah, so because of that, I decided to make a video of Spectral 5, Prime 5, Spectral Assault, and because I didn't want to make it too easy, I completed it with only 3 defenses. So I use Proton as my CC, I use Explosive Traps as my DPS for ground lanes, and I use Sky Guards as my DPS for air lanes. Now, so pretty much Proton, super easy to set up. You just need, especially for Prime, because there's no cyborgs, you don't need tenacity or anything. You only need 2 mods that are gonna be water, shocking, I mean storm, you know what I mean, and that's all. On 2 different relics, that's all you need, and you're done. Put it right on that. You can put the freeze charge, it's pretty good, and you're done. That's for your CC. Afterward, for Explosive Trap, you actually need a pretty good setup for that one. I went with Mass Destruction, and the Explosive Trap Explosion Shard. So these 3, super high damage. And then, oh, right. On one of the Protons, you kind of need to have Destructive Pylon, otherwise it's not going to buff. You won't have the Destructive buff, and it's kind of bad. Now, if you want to use traps, I really recommend you use Boost Auras. That's what's going to make it more efficient, especially give us slow and everything. But because of that challenge, I didn't use any Boost Aura. And finally, Skyguard. Skyguard is really bad. It's a trash defense, like really trash. I thought about maybe using Reflect as anti-air, but then I was like, I don't know. Let's use something that we all know is trash, just to prove it. So I went with Damage Skyguard. I only use for short. I use Destruction, and then double range. I add right on my relic. So yeah, so that's pretty much how I cleared that, only using these 3 defenses. I just want to remind that pretty much the trick to beating that map is, first of all, you want to use something that to merge ground and air lanes. So auras are really good, Whipman is kind of good, also really good also, something like that. First trick. Second trick, you really want to kill, you want to make sure the specters die pretty fast, the first one. Always try to go for the, when you see specters spawning, try to kill more than 1 specter at once. Like, go for the first one, and then usually there's going to be like another one of the same color spawning later on. You can just keep the same buff there and just kill it, and then it doesn't matter if there's 1 specter that is the core for a while, as long as it stays alive. That's all you need. Something scary on that map is if you have enemies actually getting stuck in spawn, that can really fuck you over. If there's that, you really need to make sure to kill all specters, or you will be in trouble. Now, it's really the hardest wave are really going to be wave. Actually, wave 1 can be a bit tricky if your defenses are not upgraded yet, especially if you use something like traps, because from T1 to T2 it doubles the damage. So in my case, like wave 1 was harder than wave 2 entry because of that when I did my video. But usually wave 1 is pretty straightforward, especially if you use auras, but even then auras are better upgraded. And then it's really wave 4 and 5 that are going to be more tricky, but even then it shouldn't be that bad. So if you have the right build, I believe anyone with somewhat decent gear can do that map. And remember guys, this challenge was advertised as kind of the endgame of Dungeon Defender 2 for, I don't know if it's going to be the ultimate endgame of Dungeon Defender 2, but it's going to be an endgame. It was advertised as an endgame update. So because of that, it's supposed to be hard, especially now that we're getting to the end of the challenge. There's only 2 maps remaining, which are the Eye of Chulu. Don't remember them. It's a forest map anyway. And the last one is Betsy. So I really hope they crank up the difficulty for those two, so it feels like a boss fight. Because right now, all the primes are all AFK using a decent build. Like I can just spam Flameauras and pretty much AFK, except for like the last 2 waves for Specters. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I don't even know, like I'm probably gonna queue up the video like at the same time I'm talking or something like that. But hopefully it's finished. Maybe not, I don't know. Thank you for watching, and have a great day, I guess. I will see you guys probably soon. Either I'm gonna be making a video for Betsy and Ayashtulu, or I'm gonna maybe wait for DD2 beta if we can stream it and stuff. So yeah, all right, take care, guys.